Hello, this is Josh from Chip Theory Games, and today we are going to take you through the new adventure map for Undertow. This is an add-on that we have for Undertow that is very similar to the original, our original adventure map, and a few people have already touched on this. We had Ricky Royal include this in his little overview of some of the mats that we sent, along with Rolling Solo. I may have a few more details for you though, so stick close. What we're going to do is go through the mat. It's designed to be printed double-sided. So right now, while we don't have it double-sided, the whole idea is that when you flip this over, it has this mat on the back. The holes obviously line up, and that way you can kind of do away with this mat if you have it, because you'll have them both contained within this one mat. It is stitched, a real nice stitch, and it does have a little bit of a more vibrant feel. It's not so much that it's a better quality print. As we head south, it just becomes more lush. So that's part of what I think Ricky was seeing when he made the comment about that, is that this one seems to maybe even be a little more vibrant. It jumps off the mat, the colors do, but that's because here, for the most part, you're kind of heading off into the mountains, and they're mostly tipped with snow. So you know, the mat fades out just a little bit up there because of all that white. In this regard, with this mat, you've got a lot more color throughout more of the mat. So that's maybe the difference. One other thing that I'll just point out here is that this mat actually has more tyrant locations than the original. With this one, we have a jungle location, a water location, kind of an arid, well, I should say a barren wasteland location. Then the breaking, we're still not set on all of the wording. This is not a final mat by any means, but it's quite close at this point. And then we do have another location here. You can see it maybe just faintly near Totem Call. So yeah, there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations. And part of why we're doing that is we want to accommodate the new campaign mode that we've built in to this this journey. And so part of what's really neat about this one is that while you're headed down, you may be able to just set up and go for a single tyrant, or and then reset and go for a different tyrant, similar to how this original one worked. But also, you have the option of a continued journey where maybe when you get done defeating Barnacle, you then are able to queue up, and just 3 days later, or 3 progress points later, I should say, or even 2 in this case, you're facing yet another tyrant. So it makes those tyrant battles much faster, and that's for the campaign mode. So there will be kind of a dual mode to come at each tyrant from, and there will be the possibility of, for instance, facing this tyrant after X number of days, or maybe shortly after yet another tyrant. So I'm going to save more of the details on that. I'm kind of talking around it a little bit on purpose because I want to share those during the campaign spotlight, but this gives some hints at how that might work. Let's see if there's any other aspects to this that I can discuss with you. This one is set, like, there are certain locations on this mat where you could play previous tyrants from the other set on this mat. However, primarily that's why we're including the old mat on this one, is so that when you're facing those tyrants, you're going up against them on the old mat. The days equal out. They've all been designed very specifically for this mat, and so but again, some of that will kind of become apparent. The campaign mode for the original that we're releasing, we'll be talking a little bit more about how that works on this mat, and such. So more information to come, but we just wanted to give you a little feel of this. A couple people asked about this hole that we cut on the original. There were people that commented on it being really tight, and so when you went to spin or turn your counter, your day counter, it was a little bit hard to spin it. While we originally wanted it to be somewhat snug so that you almost could pick up your mat and move it without that falling out, we understand that it's better to have it semi-loose in there so it spins. So we'll be just slightly increasing the size of this, which will then in turn increase the size of this side. So obviously, so kind of fixing that whole thing all at once. Yeah, other than that, I think that's about it. Hopefully this was a nice little short enlightening spotlight, and we're looking forward to a few more this weekend. Thanks everyone.